Boys and girls, I hope you're ready for another writing lesson today. For the writing lesson today, you're going to need a pencil and a paper, or your dry erase board, or and a marker. You're going to work on stretching out some words with Lisa today. So let's get started with Lisa's lesson and stretching out the words. You guys are going to do great writing today, I'm sure. Okay, here's Lisa.
Hi, writers. It's so great to see you. So I was thinking for today's mini lesson, we are going to be working really hard to stretch out words and hear and write down the sounds that we're hearing. So I was thinking it might be really fun for you guys to practice with me. So if you can grab a piece of paper and a pen or pencil, or if you have a whiteboard and a marker, you can use those when we're practicing to spell some words together. So writers, sometimes I know it's hard for us to read our own writing. Thumbs up if that has ever happened to you. Yeah, me too. Sometimes I'm like so excited, I'm getting my ideas down on paper, and then when I go back to reread my writing, I don't remember what it says. And soon we're going to be sharing our stories with lots of readers, our parents, our siblings, our friends, and we really want to make sure that they are able to read our writing. And when words are sometimes tricky for us to write, one thing I've noticed is that the beginning and the end of the words are easy for us to write, but the middle parts is where it gets really tricky. And if we want readers to be able to read our stories, we need to make sure that we hear and we write down all the sounds in the word, not just the beginning and the ending. So today, I want to teach you guys that when we're writing down a word we don't know, we need to work really hard to make sure that we're hearing and writing all the sounds of the word. And this is one way writers do that. They say the word, they slide their finger across the page, they listen for and hear the sounds of the word, and then they write them down. So writers, I was thinking we could try this together, and you help me figure out some of the tricky words that I'm going to write down in my story. So grab your whiteboard or your paper, and you can practice along with me. So I started writing this story the other day about when I went sledding with my brother, and I'm just going to read you how my story begins. One snowy day, I went sledding with my brother. We went to the top of the hill. My brother gave me a big... Okay, so writers, let's just remember, when we get to a tricky word or a word we don't know, we want to make sure that we work really hard to hear and write down all the sounds of the word. And we do that by saying it, sliding it, hearing it, and then writing it. So I thought you guys can help me with my next word. My brother gave me a big push. Are you ready to work that word? Here we go. Let's say it together. Push. Let's slide our fingers across the page while we say the word. Push. Let's listen to what we hear first in push.
Push.
That's right. We hear the p sound in the word push. Let's write it. Let's do it again. Let's say the word.
Push.
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 Let's slide our fingers. Push. Let's see what we hear next in the word push. Like umbrella. Good. Push. Let's say the word again. Push. Let's slide our finger across the page. Push. Let's listen to what we hear at the end. Push. Let's write it. Push. Whew. So writers, did you see how we did that? We worked really hard to hear all the sounds of the word and make sure we wrote them down. We said it, we slid our finger across the page, we listened to the sounds we heard, and then we wrote it down. Let's try another one. I went faster and faster. Okay, so let me write my next word. I know that word in a snap. I went. That's another snap word. I'm going to write that one down. You guys can write it on your paper if you want. Went. Faster. That's a tough one. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's say it together. Faster.
Faster.
Say it with me. Faster. Let's slide our finger. Faster. Let's write down what we hear at the beginning. Faster. That's right. Faster. Let's slide our finger. Faster. Let's write what we hear next in Let's say it again. Faster. Let's slide our finger. Faster. What do we hear next? Fast. Nice job. Let's go back again. Let's say the whole word. Faster. Let's slide our finger. Faster. Let's listen to what we hear at the end. Faster. Faster. Writers, I'm noticing the end of the word brother sounds a lot like the end of the word faster. So this little part of this word can help me with faster. Faster. I went faster and snap word. Faster. Wow, writers, we worked our muscles really hard right there, right? We worked really hard to make sure that we can hear and write down all the sounds in our words so that when readers are reading our writing, they'll know what it says. So writers, today, when you guys are writing and you come to a word that might sound really tricky or a word that you're not sure of, we want to make sure that we're working really hard to hear and record all the sounds. And one way we can do that is like just what we tried together. We can say it, slide our finger across the page, listen for the sounds that we hear, and then write them down. But we can also use words that we know in a snap. And we can also listen for little words inside other words. So writers, today, make sure when we're thinking about these tricky words, know that we have lots of different ways to help us spell those words. Are you guys ready to get started? Off you go.
Okay, writers. Today, let me see if I can make myself, there you go. Today, you're going to write another small moment story for me. So you're going to get out your writing journal. You're going to make sure you put the date on the top of your next clean page. So on the top of the next clean page, you're going to date it. And then you're going to write to me another small moment story. When you write your story today and you come to tricky, hard words, I want you to think about Lisa's lesson. I want you to think about stretching out those sounds. Saying the word faster, saying it, sliding your finger across the page, hearing those sounds, fast-er, and then writing it down. So when you come to a tricky word like Lisa did, just say to yourself, I can do this, and sound it out, stretch it out, and write all the sounds that you hear. Also remember that Lisa told us not to get stuck on snap words, which we call sight words. Lisa called them snap words, but we call them sight words. Sight words like was and you and the, you should know in a snap. And then also, think of like when we did the word fast-er, you knew that sound from brother. So think about sounds that you know, shorter sounds that are in bigger words. Think about those when you're writing today too. Boys and girls, when you're done with your small moment story, share it with your teacher on Seesaw, but make sure you point out, try 2 or 3 words that you really stretched out. So read us the story and then tell us 2 or 3 words that you stretched out today like Lisa did. All right. Thanks, boys and girls.